Okay guys, so these are the things that I'm going to use for my, let me say, gravy or stew. This is the blended fresh tomatoes, and this also is onions, fresh garlic, and then ginger blended together. This right here is my tomato puree. This is what I put in the fridge, and then two little, let me say, Maggi, and I don't know what they call this, spices or something like that. This is my salt. This is my powdered pepper. It's actually from Ghana. And this is my cooking oil. These are the things I'm going to use for the stew. So first things off, I'm going to start with my meat. I'm going to start with my meat. As you can see, it's washed, looks really nice, and chopped, I'm sorry. So I'm going to put it right inside the bowl, or the cooking bowl, and then I'm gonna add some little bit of this blended onion and garlic and ginger, just a little bit, just to steam or boil the meat up. So I'm going to add just a pinch of powdered pepper inside, just a pinch of it, and then salt to taste. And then I'm gonna add some little spice to give it some taste. And now it's ready to be cooked. Yep, that's my gas for you. So yeah. Now I'll leave it to cook for like 30 minutes. Because this is cow meat, it's a little bit hard, so I'll leave it on for like 30 to 45 minutes, make it really soft. Or let me say approximately 30 minutes will be okay, and then I'll come and check it and fry it out, and then I'll start with my stew. Okay guys, so my meat is pretty much cooked. So the next thing I'm going to do is heat this pan, and then I'm going to fry the meat, and then continue with my gravy cooking, right? So I'm gonna add a little bit of this cooking oil inside, and then let it be hot for like 2 minutes before I proceed in putting the meat inside of it. Back in the day, this is how we used to term if something is hot. You just place your hand up of it to check if it's hot enough. So now I'm gonna put the meat inside and cover it because I don't want it to just hurt me. I don't know how I'm gonna say it, but so now the meat is almost cooked. Let me say it's even cooked. So I'm gonna take them out and start with my stew. And I'm going to use the same oil that I used to fry the meat to prepare the stew. So the first thing I'm going to put inside the pan is my blended onions and ginger plus garlic. I'll let it sit in until it's a little bit brown before I add my powdered pepper. The reason why I like using the same oil is because, I don't know, it gives it some nice taste, you know. Yes, the meat's got some nice flavor. So if you use the same oil, it's going to give it some really nice taste. Even you without adding um, any spices to it. So the next thing I'm gonna do is add my powdered pepper, and I really love pepper, so I'm gonna add just a pinch of it once more to it. I love pepper. So at this point, I'm going to add some 2 spoons of tomato puree. I think I'll make it 3. 3 spoons is enough of tomato puree. And make it fry a little bit before I add my fresh tomatoes to it. Now I'm going to add my fresh tomatoes to it. Some people just use just the tomato puree in cooking jollof, but I don't know. I just cannot do that. No, I don't know. I cannot do that. So, I mean, this is the recipe my mom taught me. You always need to add some fresh tomatoes to your stew. You know, tomato puree is one way or the other processed, and I don't know, just using it to cook. I don't know what it's going to cost, but I basically like to add some fresh tomatoes to it, you know. I don't know what it does though, but that's just my recipe. So now I'm going to add my 2 cubes, but I'm not going to add just all of them, maybe half of each. And then half of this one too. This one has onions and, you know, all the essential things. Onions, garlic, pepper, I think ginger or so. So I like the taste it gives to food. So I'm gonna add it to it. And then I'm gonna let this sit for, let's say, 20 to 25 minutes for everything to cook. Then I'll be right back. So this is how the stew is looking after like 20 minutes, but I feel that it has to cook a little bit more because, you know, I've got puree inside, and if it doesn't cook, you can, I don't know how I'm going to explain it, but you kind of like feel it in your tongue, like on your tongue, when you're eating it. So it pretty much has to cook really well before, you know, I can go on with the jollof. So I'm going to make it cook for like another 10 minutes. For now, I'm going to add salt. I'm going to taste first to see if there's salt in it, because, you know, I put some spices in here, so I don't want the salt to be too much in it. So I'm going to taste if there's a little bit of salt or the salt is enough. So now I am going to taste to see if the salt is okay in the stew, because I'm not going to use the whole of the stew for my jollof. I'm definitely gonna leave some and, you know, preserve it in the fridge. So I'm going to taste it. I think this is okay. I think it's okay, because when I'm cooking the jollof, I'll still add some little salt to it. So this is okay for the stew. I'm going to cover it and make it boil or cook for maybe 10 minutes more, and then I'll be back. The stew is cooked. This basically is how I want it to be. As you can see, everything is cooked really well. So I'm now going to go ahead and start preparing my jollof, and this is where the rice cooker comes in. Yeah, so this is my rice cooker. It's got non-stick, how do you call this thing, this bowl inside is non-stick, so obviously nothing is going to happen when I cook it inside, and it's really fast. It is media rice cooker, and everything here is written in Chinese. I do not understand, but what I will say is this really works so quick and it's easy to manipulate. So this is my rice. It is 3 cups of rice that I'm going to cook. I will not wash the rice. I don't know, for some reasons I heard people say that when you wash your rice, you've washed the nutrients away. I don't know how true that is, but I do not wash my rice. I just use it just right away. So I've got my rice in here, so I'm gonna take some of the stew and put it on top of it, and then start preparing my jollof. But as I'm just eyeballing it, so as I am doing it, I'm gonna stir and try to check if it's okay or not. And you remember, after cooking the meat, I did not use the stock of the meat for my stew. That is because I wanted to use it for my jollof. That is what I'm gonna use to cook the jollof. And then I'm also gonna add just a little bit of water, and then pepper, and then salt to taste. So right now I'm checking if the stew is enough for my jollof. I'm really panting so hard because I am trying to make a wake for somebody. Maybe I'll show you the wake once it's done, but right now it's all about jollof. So yeah, I think the stew is okay. So I'm going to add the stock of the stock from the meat inside of it with a little bit of water. I'm gonna mix it with water, and I'm gonna put it right inside of the jollof or the rice and stew, and then I'm gonna add just this little water to it. I'm sorry, I'm filming with my iPad and I just don't know how I'm going to position it, so I'm using my left hand to hold it and my right hand to basically do the stirring and what have you. So I think the water is okay. I'm gonna start cooking, but before that I'll just add a little bit of pepper because my husband likes pepper. So I'm gonna add just small pinch of powdered pepper to it, and then stir and then taste to see if the salt is okay. Then I'm going to start cooking it. So I'm gonna add just a little bit of salt. I think this is okay. And then a little bit of water also. That's fine. So now, this is how my rice cooker works. It's plugged already, so I'm just gonna click on this red button right here, and then this is how it goes. right after 25 minutes it will start counting, like from, I think from 10 to 0. So from 10 to 0 it stops, and then the food will be cooked basically. So with jollof rice I cook it twice, because sometimes, it's just plain rice that cooks just once, but with jollof, it takes a lot of time. So with twice of this it's going to be basically cooked. Yeah, so after the first round you're gonna come and check how far it's gone. So we'll be right back. So as you guys, I don't know if you can see it well, it now read to 0, and the color is now yellow. So now the first has been cooked, and this is how it looks. Almost done. Almost done. So I'm gonna cook it for the second time, and then it'll be done. But before then I'm gonna put in the meat, the fried meat, and I'm gonna mix everything together. I basically chewed everything at the end of the day, so that's how it's not too much. So I'm going to be back with the final result. But so far so good, looks great, and it smells great too. So yes, I am going to be back with the final result. Now I'm going to cover it and unplug it. Sorry, I'm going to unplug it, and then I'll plug it again, then start all over again. So it's going to read like that, and then when it turns 0, everything will be cooked. So I'll be back when everything is done. I could not continue with the talk through because label just entered, but either ways, as you can see, it read to 0 and the lightened yellow, and basically everything was cooked. It looked great, tasted great, I'm not even going to lie. The only thing here in China is it's really difficult to get a long grain rice, but either ways you can just manipulate with your normal rice and then get a best outcome. So yeah, the food is basically cooked and ready to be served. I'm going to top it up with my salad, and then some ketchup, and also some black pepper. We call it shito in Ghana. And then yes, it will be ready to be massacred. So I hope I helped somebody out. I hope I made a great tutorial. If I did, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you up some other time. Thanks and bye.